for the first time in working for John, I feel completely hopeless. Where once you could request to government agencies or to the local authority or statutory organisations to use their discretion, use a bit of compassion, it's no longer the case. In addition, there's a change to their attitudes as well, in as much as it's almost a so what attitude when you make representations around a person's problems. You've probably all heard that Job Centre Plus staff, town hall staff will call security when they're confronted by an absolute desperate person who's at a breaking point. The only way that they can deal with that is out of my face, call security, and they're hoiked out. With some of the cases, you feel sometimes that you're just going through the motions. Now, I'm not saying that flippantly. We try the absolute best that we can, and we will do all we can. We will seek assistance from other organisations if necessary. We've given them money. Like I say, we've got an unofficial food bank. Because you have to, if someone's on their knees, you've got to help them up. And if it just gives them that break, that's what you have to do. As a human being, that's what you have to do. The problem is that there's no flexibility. These policies are absolutely set in stone, and they're absolutely ruthless and cruel. And they're devastating. They're devastating. If I just give you a few examples, I'm sorry, I probably am repeating what other people have said, but just from our perspective, you know, there's an elderly lady who's lived in her council house all her life. She's brought her family up there. Her husband passes away, and she's now been penalised because she's got a spare bedroom. Now, she can't move anywhere because there's no houses for her to move to. It's a ridiculous, heartless policy. She can't go anywhere. You've got a family living in rented accommodation. There's damp and there's black mould literally from the carpet right the way up to the ceiling. All the children now sleep in the one bedroom that's got the less mould. 2 of them are on steroids because that's what they need in order to suppress the asthma that they're suffering. And the landlord, all he does is he uses the eviction process. 4 times they've had threatened evictions. So the council then say, well, you've been evicted, don't worry about it. But he uses the eviction process to stall, to negate on his responsibilities and to continue charging extortionate rents for a property that is absolutely squalid and should be condemned. A single mother who's working couldn't manage to pay her council tax payments because the landlord put up her rent. There was no compassion from the local authority. Immediately they set up an order to access her wages, leaving her potless and absolutely desperate, not even able to pay her travel costs to go to work. Her words are still ringing in my ear. You just cannot win. And what can I say? She can't. What can you say? A wonderful mother of 2, due to government policies and pressure, has had to go out for paid work. Most of her wages go on bills and childcare. She's going out to work to pay for someone else to bring her children up, leaving her with hardly any money, just covering the bills and basic needs. Now, I'm a mother of 4, and this is the bit that absolutely struck me to the core. The youngest child's shoes are too small. She goes to school and she's moaning because they're pinching. This mother is terrified that a member of staff is going to pick up on that and they'll take her children away. All she wants to do is love those children, care and nurture those children, instead of working all the hours God sends for low wages that don't even cover the children's basic needs. How can that be morally right? It's not. It's not. And she's trapped. How can people check if these agencies are working within the law when they've no money for solicitors and the legal aid has been cut right to the bone? Who's looking after their rights and where is their voice? How can they challenge it? They can't. The policy to privatise home care, prisons, the NHS via the back door, just erodes our society, our trust in these agencies. You cannot profit from caring. You cannot profit from locking people up. You just can't do it. Do you know, when I saw Osborne shed a tear at Thatcher's funeral, very touching, very moving, I thought straight away, I wonder whether he's ever shed a tear for the people that are being tortured and devastated by the policies he's brought in. I bet he hasn't. I bet he sleeps very well at night. And the irony is, these policies are what she brought in, and they've just continued them. They're not stopping them. It hasn't taken me long to realise that, in all honesty, we've only got each other.
That's right.
Everything else has been sold off, privatised. We've only got each other. And we have to stand by each other. And we have to be the voice of the vulnerable. And we have to challenge bigotry with the truth, the facts, not the lies, not the divisive crap that's coming out of ministers' mouths about asylum seekers and those on benefits. We have to challenge that. We don't allow people to believe what's put in the media that just further feeds this crap. We stand together, we fight for the vulnerable, and as Selma said, which is never a true word, we've only got each other and we all have to fight.